Hey, I've got a great idea. I'm going to start an international institution for hoodies. Who wants to join?
Hey, I've got a hoodie.
No, I don't like zippers. Next!
I'm in. I got a hoodie.
I don't like your colors. Next!
I love your hoodie idea. This is awesome. Can I get in somehow?
You're in!
Yay!
This is United A-Holes, a video cast discussing cultural topics with no filter.
Welcome back to Area 41. Susan Evans' favorite spot on the internet.
Susan Evans.
She invented Wikipedia, didn't she?
No, she's the
I don't know.
she's the senior chair of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. She's the central point that everyone sees.
She's what everyone said, son.
She's the one that everyone puts their hate into.
Sit on, no.
One of the interesting factoids
Shit's on.
I read today that I did not know is that the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame is a non-profit, tax-free organization. And they have a dinner every year that they get donations from every industry and person that shows up.
Okay.
In the roundabout, depending, $10,000 to $30,000 a plate.
So we could start our own.
We should.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, what are we talking about, Kendall?
We're talking about the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, or the Rock and Roll Hall of Shame, as I call it. And the fact that they still really have you can't point to one definitive thing that actually qualifies you to get in, because it's so full of inconsistencies, right?
Well, I think I can point at it, but
Isn't it
that $30,000 plate?
Big stack of cash.
Isn't it just a musical artist or group that has contributed to culture musically? Like, isn't that basically all it takes to be eligible?
Well, if that's the case, then Tina Turner should be in the Rock and Roll
Is she
Hall
not?
of Fame.
Because
She is not.
I would assume that Tina Turner is probably
The
in
list
there.
is so much shorter than you think.
I couldn't let her in the door.
I was reading on Wikipedia today the entire list of inductees, and it's short enough I could read it in a very brief period of time. And there's it started in 83, so it's not like we have a lot of years. It's not like the Grammy Awards, it's 7 years old or whatever. But you have started in 83, and originally it was rock and roll only. Then there was a big outcry, I do believe, around 92, 93, I don't remember exactly when, where they inducted people, even though they technically aren't rock and roll, but influenced the industry. So like James Brown, Stevie Wonder, people like that technically were R&B or jazz or whatever, they got in to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame on a different category. I think they called it an N2 category. I have no idea what N2 stands for, but I read about it. And there was a lot of people put into that boat. And then they created another category for industry people that contribute but aren't artists. So producers, mixing engineers.
Which makes sense. Yeah.
So how does it work? Like they vote for a list of nominees, and then at the end one is inducted, or are they all like?
I don't know what the criteria. Like you said, there is no criteria.
There is no criteria, and I will give you a prime example. Okay, Deep Purple was nominated to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and now when a band goes in, they specifically list the band members that make it into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Okay? So in Deep Purple's case, Roderick Evans is in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Now, who the fuck is Roderick Evans? Well, Roderick Evans sang on the first 3 Deep Purple albums that did absolutely fucking nothing. Okay? Pearl Jam is in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. And the drummer that started the band, who was on their first 3 most successful albums, is not in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. He is not listed.
I see.
Dave
Abrazizi.
Well, I couldn't spell it.
Yeah.
Dave Abrazizi. Yeah.
AC/DC.
So they're inconsistent.
That's right. AC/DC. Their original bass player that started with Bon Scott was Mark Evans. Mark Evans played on the first 4 AC/DC albums.
So Jailbreak.
Jailbreak,
High voltage.
yeah, High Voltage,
The really good
Um,
The
ones.
good ones. Yeah.
Highway
Yeah.
to Hell.
not Highway to Hell.
Oh, okay.
Highway to Hell was Power Age.
Power
Okay.
Yeah. Mark Evans was told he was going to be nominated and actually got the call from him, and then they rescinded it. Okay, so Bon Jovi gets in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Hugh McDonald, who's not considered to be a member of Bon Jovi by Bon Jovi himself, has never appeared in any of the official band photos, isn't on any of the CDs, picture-wise with the band, is actually in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame,
my
listed as a band member. You know?
So it
I mean,
sounds like
it's
politics.
So is it like a money game where like
it's hard to say.
Or popularity
That's what I was
contest.
reading today. It's very much a money game.
Yeah.
There was one article published in Rolling Stone years ago by a guy who was on the board of 1,000 industry insiders that vote.
Okay.
The year after he published this article that I read, he was cut.
Murdered in broad daylight in
He
his
was
front
cut.
lawn.
He was cut from the organization.
Oh, he
no longer a
was.
voting member.
Oh, yeah, see?
I was believing Brent. I was like, okay, now I'm
No, it's not that good of a story. But basically, he came out in his article in Rolling Stone and said essentially that there was a period of time where it was Warner BMG were being wined and dined hard by Susan Evans to come to the dinner, and she'd give them a table close to her at the front of the room, and they were bringing all their big names up, and they were moving those people
So
in.
that it was a
she'll
big
sneak
showy
you food
event.
from her plate.
And then as the MP3 era started to tank, Sony become the big name in the industry as far as labels. Sony was basically the pinnacle, still kind of are, if you actually go look at that side of it as far as who made the most billions of dollars a year.
Right.
And Sony now sits at the head table, and he said that within 4 years of that change, Warner BMG was like basically put next to the kitchen door, like and completely ignored. No one even really spoke to them because they don't have enough money to really play the game. So that was his take. Is it's a pay to win.
So where does Susan Evans come from? What is her
She
why
is-
did she?
She's
Why is
basically
she?
the senior chair of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. She
Yeah, but
manages it.
why? Like, did she found it or did like
She was part
Nominated,
of the,
maybe?
No, she was part of the founding team that built it.
Okay.
It's a tourist attraction in Ohio. That's what its job is.
Yeah.
Right? It's where you go, and then they built extra ones. There's one in LA and one in New York. now.
Cleveland rocks.
But the original one was there, and it was built to be a tourist destination. So they got like, I can't remember, it was Run DMC sneakers, and the Boss's guitar pick.
Yeah, okay.
It's kind of like
Rock
Hard-
memorabilia or
Hard
music.
Rock Cafe, but
Yeah.
only more so. If that makes sense. No food, no cafe.
Is it a
just
giant
stuff.
pyramid? Is that the building I'm picturing? Is that the right?
I do believe so. Ken, do you know what shape the building is?
It is a pyramid.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, okay.
So yeah.
It
Anyways,
is a pyramid.
right there. So maybe it's an Oregon energy pyramid.
Yeah.
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 Wow, I just realized something. I'm going to call it out.
Okay.
This is the second episode we filmed tonight with No Potato Head. That's why the energy's all off, boys. Anyway,
So did we want to talk about who is in
yes,
the
we
running?
should talk about it
for,
and see if we agree with them. So let's start with the one. Depeche Mode. Deserve in?
Yes.
Yeah.
for sure.
Absolutely.
However,
So-
I will say
Wait,
that the
these
people
are just
that,
nominated. They're not in.
No,
They're in.
these are the inductees.
These
Oh,
are
so
the
they're going in.
inductees.
Oh, okay,
All
okay.
right.
Okay.
I didn't know that
I
either.
wonder, is the list for who was nominated available?
they're
It's way
Yeah,
long. Okay.
it's way,
So these are all getting
They're
in.
getting in.
These aren't okay.
Yeah.
So Depeche Mode.
Yeah.
We're all
Yes.
agreed that
yeah,
deserves.
yeah,
The
absolutely.
Doobie Brothers.
I don't agree
Yes.
with promoting drug use. So I'm out on the doobie.
They should have been in a long.
They
That's
should
the
have
thing,
been in
it's
a long
way-
time
way
ago.
too late.
Yeah.
Whitney Houston.
Sure, why not?
Yes.
Is she rock and roll?
Yeah.
She's not,
No.
but Donna
At
Summer
this
got
point,
in
do they
last
have
year.
to be though?
But
I mean,
she influenced the next people on the list.
9 Inch Nails for sure. She
Yeah,
influenced.
absolutely. She made them so angry they made angry music.
So that's
Right.
why she's above them in the list. So
That's right.
They're probably upset with their
As much as I love Nine Inch Nails, there are so many other acts before them that haven't been nominated or inducted that I don't know I don't know if I feel right about it.
I did
Yes,
a-
they belong in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, but it's when your mentors. When you have Steven Adler from Guns N' Roses, who played on one fucking record, it is in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame because he played drums on Appetite for Destruction, looks at Lars Ulrich and says, "Oh, they're not in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame." Ooh. And I am. You know, Notorious B.I.G.
You gotta credit where credit's due. The dude was elite.
Yes, but
Rock and roll.
is the Hip Hop Hall of Fame going to start letting in rock and roll artists?
Is
because
there-
of their
Okay, so then
influence?
I'm gonna go back to Whitney Houston and say why are they letting R&B pop acts in then too?
That's what I'm saying.
Right? Is it the Music Hall of Fame or the Rock and Roll?
If you're
Hall of
going to
Fame?
cross-pollinate in the
I mean,
Rock and Roll Hall of
again,
Fame,
Nine Inch Nails is not rock
then
and roll.
you need to cross-pollinate
Yeah,
in all of the rest of them.
Yeah, they are.
No, they're not.
You don't think Nine Inch Nails is a rock band?
Rock band maybe, but more alternative industrial.
Okay.
I don't see that as rock and roll.
Okay.
Like when I read the list today of who was in it, who wrote Johnny Be Good?
Chuck Berry?
Chuck Berry.
Berry.
Chuck
No,
Berry.
that guy from Back to the Future.
Yeah.
Marty McFly.
Marty McFly. Chuck Berry made sense to me being
Yeah.
in the Rock and Roll Hall. That's rock and roll. Little Richard, rock and roll, as true to the form as you get.
So Aerosmith.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But then you come along and say Metallica,
Metal.
it's metal.
Yeah, but they've done some rock and roll albums. They've done albums that I would
Are more
argue
rock
are
than
not
metal.
heavy metal. They're hard rock.
Agreed.
Good stuff. But
And
not,
again, I know they put it in because they influence stuff, but then you start crossing this weird line. Like James Brown, I love James Brown. Like to me,
So-
he's like one of the best ones ever.
So is there a difference then
but
between
hold it.
rock?
Finish that. You don't think James Brown is rock
I
and roll?
don't think he's rock and roll at all.
Okay. I wouldn't disagree with that. I see what you're saying. He's a little different
Funk,
vein.
R&B, soul,
Yeah.
What's the
Godfather
difference between
song.
rock and rock then?
rock and
As
rock and
Chuck
roll.
D from Public Enemy said when he during his acceptance speech, he said, whether it be hip hop or heavy metal, it all comes from the core same roots,
4 beats.
Yeah.
4 beats, right?
Yeah.
So
I would say the difference between rock and roll is a grade of heaviness. In the same way, the difference between rock and hard rock to metal is another grade, and metal to death metal and grindcore and on and on and on. I mean, you're getting into subgenres, I know, but it is a thing, and it is very distinctly different music. In the same way,
absolutely.
saying that
Yeah.
soul and R&B are 2 different things, and until you really deep dive both of them, at the first listen, you go, "Oh, that's R&B or soul." Well, it could be either, but
But from a non-profit business point of view,
you got to get the names.
you
for the
want to
kids.
get everybody
And
right.
someone that was the other thing I read is they purposely induct people that are popular with people that are at the tourist age. So they want to come to the hall.
Yeah.
That was another one.
That's interesting. That's
So Notorious B.I.G,
a lot of T-Rex fans out there.
T-Rex. Again,
You don't like them?
no, I mean
Bang
they're
a Gong?
amazing,
Oh, okay.
but
Yeah, but
T-Rex
that
is not
Oh, yes,
to me
it is.
rock band.
Yeah, it's
not.
rock and roll.
I
I think you
that-
got to look at the total body of their work before
Yeah.
they're inducted, and then
But that's the thing. That's where the inconsistency lies. They won't let an artist in because,
Yeah.
well, they've done a lot of stuff, but is it really quality? And then on the flip side, they haven't really done a lot of stuff, but that period of 2 years, they ruled the world.
Well,
So
the instance that you mentioned earlier off camera was Sex Pistols. 1 album. Punk.
yeah,
I think you have to take in the impact, though, right?
Didn't even want to be in.
Mm.
They, the I can't remember which member of the band it was, sent a letter to them telling them it was
to go,
go take a piss is what he
Yeah.
told them to do.
yeah,
Like, fuck off. We're not doing this. And did not show up for his induction. Got inducted, name is listed, but wrote them a seething letter saying no way. But I guess you could look at that as he's in character and he's just doing what the Sex Pistols
yeah
would do.
typical Johnny Rotten.
Yeah, exactly.
But I mean, and of course, in every year, in 2013, they basically said, okay, we hear you fans, and we understand that you have your favorites. So what we're going to do is we're going to have a fan vote with 10 bands on it, and whoever gets the most votes will get in. And since 2013, the the leading vote getter, has gotten in. That's how Rush got in. That's how Def Leppard got in last year, was because they won. This year, Dave Matthews Band was the leading vote getter, and nope. So, okay.
That's weird, eh?
Yeah.
But then again, I would argue that they're not a rock band either. So
Yeah, but they put them on the list. The fans voted, and it got the vote.
They're probably closer than Biggie.
So if they're gonna
True.
Yeah.
gonna do that,
I didn't know Dave Matthews Band fans could afford a computer.
they're boring their friends.
Yeah.
So let's talk about who's not actually in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Yeah, you got a list?
Oh, well, just some of the big ones. Kate Bush. And that's the thing. When you have somebody that's in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame going, like, for example, there's 9 Inch Nails, Depeche Mode going in this year, and both of them cite one of the first industrial electronic
Kraftwerk
bands,
is-
Kraftwerk.
Oh, yeah.
Still not in.
Still
Is
not
Gary,
in.
do you know, is Gary
Nominated
Newman
8
in?
years. But
Is
yeah.
Gary Newman in?
Also, one of the bands that actually, from that genre, actually, that Trent Reznor would cite as an influence too is Devo. And they are not in, and they've been nominated a couple times as well too. Tina Turner is not in. Now, for all you people that say, yes, she's in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, she is, but she is in there with Ike and Tina Turner. Okay? There are, for example, Stevie Nicks is in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame with Fleetwood Mac, and she's in there as a solo artist. How do you not put Tina Turner, who separately has sold over 100 million albums, in the... there's no rhyme or reason. Joan Jett is in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and yet Pat Benatar is not.
I thought they were the same person.
Yeah.
Pat Benatar holds the record for most consecutive Grammy Award wins in her category.
And we know the Grammys are real.